Hi, I'm Perry Atkinson, General Manager here at theDove. Hey, check out our other videos and check out our website at thedove.us. Welcome to Focus Today. I'm your host, Perry Atkinson, and what a delight today to have with us Dr. Bill Miller. He's been a physician in academia and also private practice for over 30 years. Dr. Miller is a graduate from Northwestern University in biology and Northwestern Medical School and is a member of the Medical Honor Society. And we want to talk to him about something today that perhaps we all suffer with, allergies, and our obsession to be clean. Great. But does it have consequences? Dr. Miller, good to see you. How are you, my friend?
Good morning. Thank you for having me on the show.
Yeah, thank you. Well, this is pretty interesting. How big is the problem of allergies in America?
It's a growing problem. We found some very interesting things over the last few years. One of the surprises is that they've been able to do a series of studies that look at the extent of allergies and asthma in industrialized countries like our country and less developed countries, more rural types of countries. And we're finding that there's a substantial difference in the incidence of allergies between these two types of societies. So the question arose, why is this the way it is? And we've learned that there could be a singular problem right now. We don't get exposed to the proper bugs at the proper time as we're growing up and developing.
Whoa, that's interesting. So what's happening? Are we sanitizing ourselves too much?
In a way we are. We've learned about ourselves that we are a critical partnership between the bug world, the microbial world, the world of bacteria and fungi and viruses. This is kind of creepy stuff, but it is a fact that we are an exquisite partnership, as are every other type of complicated creature on this planet, between the bugs and our own personal selves. So when I look in the mirror and I see myself, as wonderful as I see myself, the fact is, I think I'm a singular thing, but I'm not. I'm a partnership. I'm a combination of all this bug life and me. And that life is working so seamlessly that I don't even know it's in me or on me or at work. But nature knows it, and my allergy system knows it. The way I react to antigens, to pollens, to foods, it all is consequential. And so there's a new concept called the hygiene hypothesis, which offers the theory, which is now backed by pretty good evidence, that we're growing up too clean.
Now, does this also include those who just have basic allergies, food allergies or plant allergies? We're in springtime now. A lot of people are sneezing. Does that include that?
It does. We thought at first that the connection that I'm talking about would be much more directly felt by people in food allergies. So, for example, there's been a substantial increase in the amount of food allergy in children since 1997, about a 50% increase in food allergies and symptoms of asthma that are triggered from some of these types of allergies. And so we thought that the lack of the proper microbes, the lack of contact with the proper microbes at a young age would be confined at first to the reaction from the gut and the allergy system. But we're finding it's much deeper than that. Even though these are gut microbes, many of them, somehow or another in our immune system, it's cross-reacting with other kinds of pollens and things that interact with our airways. So that it's a very deep and complicated connection.
So you're saying, Dr. Miller, that basically we are cleaning ourselves too much. Boy, this is a real tug of war because we want clean air, we want all clean water, we want all these things, but you walk into a bank, you have the hand sanitizers, they're all over the place. You go in the grocery store, you get the wipes before you take the cart. Too much?
Well, it is in a way. In another era, when kids grew up differently, there were lifestyle differences. Kids just rolled in the dirt. They lived on farms. They were in contact with all sorts of farm animals. There's very good evidence now that children that grow up with a household pet, particularly dogs, have a substantially lower incidence of general allergy and particularly asthma. And the reason is now believed that Children, when they're rolling around with their pets, in contact with their pets, getting licked by their pets, there's a transfer of essential microbes that matter to us. They're hidden from our view, but they're part of this internal conversation that we have that maintains our health and also determines in many ways how we react to the physical environment around us. There's one other really critical factor. In industrialized countries, such as our own, we use a lot of antibiotics. We use them to treat illnesses, and we use them sometimes as food additives. Antibiotics are one of the great inventions in history. I'm definitely not against antibiotics, but it is important that they be used carefully and well. And that does not mean that they get used for every cough and cold and sniffle. So we know that in general, in this country, children under the age of 2 have already been exposed to 3 separate courses of antibiotics on average. And here's what happens when you get an antibiotic. It's called a broad spectrum in most circumstances. It affects the bad bug that you're trying to conquer and make someone well again, but also a very large array of good bugs, bugs that we need to have a proper metabolism and to maintain and develop our immune system. So new evidence is suggesting that all of this antibiotic usage, particularly at a very young age, is changing the composition and therefore the partnership of all these microbes. And that in turn is being experienced to some degree as an increase in allergy and asthma.
Wow. So has your argument been supported by, say, second and third world countries, non-industrialized countries?
Well, what we're finding is that their experience, as a general rule, and their children, as a general rule, have lower incidences of these kinds of things. Let me give you an example. I was on an airplane flight from Phoenix to Philadelphia, and right at the beginning, the steward says, I'm sorry, but we're not going to be able to pass out our flight time snack, which was going to be a bag of peanuts. Well, I was shocked that there was going to be any snack at all on today's airlines. But the reason that they couldn't give the snack was that someone on the airplane had a peanut allergy. Well, honestly, when I was growing up, nobody had food allergies that we knew about. Of course, they existed. And of course, I didn't know every child in my neighborhood, but they weren't common. And I think everyone that's listening, they know someone whose child has an allergy. And you can't bring a range of foods into the schools anymore because, my goodness, there might be a peanut in there. I'm not trying to say that peanut allergies are not real. I'm just saying that the incidence of them has substantially changed, and there are reasons for that. One of those reasons is now believed that that children are growing up in a different manner. The way they share toys is different. The way they roll in the dirt together is different. The way they, as I said, the way they interact with other forms of animal life is different. And because of that, we're experiencing this higher incidence of allergy.
All right. So what's the balanced approach here? What are you telling us to do?
I think there are several appropriate things that can be done. The first is, especially for children that are growing up, it's let them roll in the dirt. Let them share toys with each other as long as they've been properly vaccinated. There is low risk to that. I think that when a parent has a child with a cold, the first instinct should be to see how it goes without running off to a physician. And I think that both patients, parents, and physicians have to be more careful about when they use antibiotics. Antibiotics are terrific drugs. They're absolutely indicated in certain circumstances, but we've tended into a pattern in which there's overuse. And then lastly, there's new and interesting information that some of the yogurts that have microbes within them, and of course the whole process of yogurt making involves microbes, but there are those that have probiotics in them. These are biologically active microbes. There is some evidence to suggest that consuming probiotic yogurts can help people with allergies. Above all else, it's a trial and error experience each of us has, and I would suggest then that everyone keep a lively mind and do what they can for themselves and experiment with all different things like that.
All right, let me say to our viewers and listeners, Microcosmwithin.com is Dr. Miller's website. Microcosmwithin.com is the website if you want to learn more information about this. One quick question before I let you go. Probiotics, are you thumbs up or thumbs down?
Thumbs up. I think that there's new information that probiotics are helpful in a number of ways, and they supply some good bugs.
All right. Hey, what a joy to have you. Keep up the good work, my friend.
Thank you very much. Happy to be on.
All right. Again, his website, microcosmwithin.com. Check it out. We'll be right back.